Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Welcome back to the range. Back in the winter, I posted a video of my Island Armory imported 22 long rifle chambered revolver. This is the AL22MB, being the blued model. And I got a really good impression of this revolver. Was really impressed with how well it's made and how well it shot for the price point. And if you guys want to see that video, I'll have it linked in the description here. I went into great detail on this revolver. It's a rather long video, but I did go into a lot of detail with it. Was very happy with it. Still am very happy with it. Like this revolver a lot. But it was because of that experience that when I saw one of these chambered in .22 Magnum at my local gun shop, that I jumped on it. So I picked this up, and I've had it for a little while. But I brought it home, and I always swab the barrel out and that sort of thing when they're brand new before I go shoot them. But I did go take it out, and I just shot it on some steel, and basically just checking to make sure my sights were roughed in, and it seemed to be like they were lined up good enough. So after that, I just started shooting some steel with it every now and then, just kind of breaking it in and stuff. But I noticed that sometimes I was missing when it felt like that I was doing everything right. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about if you shoot much. Sometimes you know your shot's going to hit before you ever hear the feedback of the steel ringing or see it move or anything like that. You just know when you've done everything right. And sometimes I would do that and I'd still miss. So today I came down here. I thought maybe my sights were off. So I came down here and sat down at the bench and shot some paper, some cardboard, just to see what the gun was doing. And I see why I was missing now. So I've got a little bit of a range report for you guys. I'll show you a few of these targets. I've been down here shooting all morning. I've shot a bunch of different kinds of ammunition. I tried to shoot several different bullet weights. I shot 30 grain, 40 grain, and 50 grain bullets. Basically, I shot some of all the .22 Magnum ammunition that I have, trying to find something that this gun likes. And basically, long story short, it doesn't like any of it. So we'll go through some of these targets, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm not going to go through all of these targets with you guys. It would bore you to death. They all look very similar. What the gun is doing, it's doing fairly consistently. So, this first target was shot at 15 yards. All these groups that I'm going to show you, I think all of them that I'm going to show you are 5-shot groups. We may show you some other ones. I did shoot some 8-shot groups as well, just loading the cylinder all the way up and shooting. But most of these are 5-shot groups. Start out here. This is CCI Game Point, 40 grain jacketed soft point bullet. So these were shot at 15 yards. You can see I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Huge group. But if we look close, you can see that bullet there hit the target at an angle. It left what we shooters refer to as a keyhole in the target. When a bullet strikes at an angle like that, that's what we call it, is a keyhole. So over here I've got some Spear Gold Dot 40 grain jacketed hollow point. You guys have heard me speak about this ammunition quite a bit. I really like it. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, then a keyhole. So it's keyholing with that ammunition as well. And then over here we've got some CCI loaded VMAX. It's a 30 grain bullet with a polymer tip. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then way down here another keyhole. So on that target I shot 30 and 40 grain ammunition, and it's keyholing with both. And you can see the groups are rather huge for 15 yards. Throw that one down. This next one, this one is CCI TNT Green, which is a lead-free 30 grain hollow point. All 5 bullets did strike the target nose first. Not a great group, but at least they did hit nose first. Federal 50 grain game shock. 4 there really close to each other. That's what I like to see, except for one of them wasn't stable, so it starts flipping as it goes toward the target and struck the target sideways. So definitely not stabilizing the bullets here. Hornady 30 grain VMAX. This is the Hornady brand. That other VMAX was the CCI brand that I showed you. But again, 4 right there close together. Then 1 struck the target completely sideways. And that's what I'm dealing with. That's what I'm getting. I could go through these targets and I could find some examples of 5-shot groups where it didn't keyhole. Here's one. This one was shot at 20 yards, Winchester Super X, 40 grain. No keyhole. Ugly group. So not shooting them well, but at least it didn't have any keyholes in it. Here's a Federal. Here's another one with 50 grain. You got 4 shots here, then 1 hits. You know, when they start flipping like that, they'll go just about anywhere. So this one's way outside the group, hit completely sideways. And again, I could just give you example after example after example. Here's some Spear Gold Dot. I don't know how many rounds are on this target exactly. I was shooting this target. I shot it several different times. You can see the little pasties on it, but there's definitely a keyhole. So again, I'm not going to go through all these. They all, I keep picking them up though, don't I? Here's another Spear Gold Dot, another keyhole. But they all look similar to that. 90% of the time, out of 5 shots, 1 of them is going to hit the target sideways. And it's pretty much regardless of whatever ammunition I'm using. Even those 2 examples I showed you that didn't have a keyhole, they did keyhole on other targets. I'm not going to sit here and dig through them, but every ammunition that I tested today did keyhole out of this revolver. All right, so I'm going to shoot a group here on camera for you guys. I'm going to shoot the CCI 40 grain jacketed soft point game point loads, just to show you on video what it's doing here. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. All right, so there's 5 shots. That's a perfect example of what I was explaining to you guys. So I'm glad that happened here on video. That's a good 15-yard group if it didn't have that in it. And that bullet couldn't have hit any more sideways than it did right there. So this is about the 3rd or 4th time today that this gun is locked up on me. I was able to pry it open and clear the ammo out, so the gun is clear, but it is locked up very tight. I can't open the cylinder without a lot of force. And it's very difficult to even close the cylinder back. I can't cock the hammer. Can't pull the trigger for double action. It is locked up. And what I've been doing, I'll just open and close the cylinder. It takes a lot of force to open that. I'll just open and close the cylinder and kind of keep pulling at the hammer, and eventually it'll unlock. Now, look, the trigger's stuck back. The trigger shouldn't be stuck back like that. But usually I'll fool with it a little bit and it'll come back around to working. All right, seems to be working now. And it'll work. I don't even like to dry fire my rim fires, but I'm just kind of frustrated with this thing right now. But it'll work for a while, and it'll lock up again. And I don't know what's doing that, but it doesn't seem to be ammo related, because it'll do it even without ammo in it. Still not acting right. Alright, so I don't particularly enjoy these types of videos when the gun's not working properly. I'd much rather be showing you guys a firearm down here at the range that's working as advertised, and I'm shooting a bunch of targets for you guys and just having a good time and talking about it. But I also believe it's very important that I show you a gun when it's not working properly. I think that comes with the territory as well. If you're going to be a reviewer of things, you need to also show when something's not working right. And this gun has some problems. Obviously, the bullets are tumbling. You can see these yellow marks. I started later in my shooting session, I started marking each chamber every time that I would get a keyhole on my target, and ended up with most of the chambers marked. I believe if I would have shot long enough, I would have had all 8 chambers marked. So it seems random as far as what chamber is fired from when it tumbles. Looking at the front of the cylinder, I didn't see any issues there. Don't see any signs of a forcing cone strike. Didn't feel any kind of like shavings or anything coming out of the gun, out of the cylinder gap. Everything looks nice there and clean. The muzzle crown looks good, which I think if it was a muzzle crown issue, it would be more than just one random shot here and there. It would, all of them would have problems. But whatever it is that's going on, I don't know. Could be undersized throats squeezing the bullet down too tight. Could be an oversized bore. It could be a twist rate issue. I don't know. I did bore scope the bore, and I didn't see any issues in there that stood out to my eye. Again, I'm not a gunsmith or anything, but I didn't see anything that just kind of grabbed my attention that would be a problem. So I don't know what's going on with it. I just know it does have a problem. To have that problem with that range of ammunition that I was using today shows that it is a problem with the firearm, I believe. The gun also has some mechanical problems with the lock work. I don't know what all's going on here with it, but there are times when I'll shut the cylinder and it won't even be locked. I'll be able to push it open without hitting the cylinder latch. It seems to be working fine now, but that's the nature of this revolver. Everything seems intermittent or random. Sometimes we'll shoot it, and my wife is down here shooting some with me, and this happened to her as well. We'll shoot it in single action, and the trigger will stay back, and we'll have to slap the gun to get the trigger to pop back up. I mean, it's got some issues. I'm not sure what all's going on. It'll lock up from time to time to where you can't even pull the trigger or cock the hammer. And I don't think it's from being dirty. I have put a lot of rounds through this gun, but I haven't had it out in any kind of adverse conditions or anything. And it hasn't been enough rounds to where stuff should be getting into the lock work and gumming it up and causing problems there. I haven't had this gun apart, and I'm not going to take it apart. I'm either going to get with Island Armory and get with their warranty department, customer service, and see if they'll help me. Or I've already talked to the shop where I bought the gun, and he says he'll make it right. I can take it back up there, and he'll do some trading with me or something and make it right, and then he'll take care of the warranty part. So I've got options as to what I'm going to do going forward. I haven't made my mind up just quite yet, so I don't want to commit to any specific path forward, but just letting you know that this gun does have some problems, and I know it's only a sample of one. That's the problem with having such a low sample rate when you're doing a review. I don't know if a lot of these have problems or not. I just know this one does, and that's all I've got to report on. So I hope you guys have a good one, but that's all I've got today. I'll talk with you guys again soon.